Hey, man, what you reading in there? You a college boy or something? Huh? I bet you think you're pretty smart, huh? Think you could outsmart a bullet? What do you say we find out, huh? I'm talking to you! What do you say? Huh? Huh? I'm talking to you!
Drop it! Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
What's up, guys? It's Sacred Guardian back in action with the first ever PvP build. This time it's featuring the Striker subclass of the Titan, and I'm calling it the Robocop build. Alright, so to start off, what we are doing is we need 2 SMGs. So let's go to the character. We have the Peacekeepers. They are mecha holster, reload stowed submachine guns, and allows you to ready them instantly. So, pop off a few rounds, switch to your SMG, pop off a few rounds. You get the picture. So, it increases aim down sights, like that. Let's go ahead and take them off so you can see the difference. See how much slower that is? Look at that. And look at how slow it changes. Alright, now let's throw them back on. Look at that. So much snappier. Look at how fast it switches. Look at that. Awesome. Awesome stuff. It's really good because some of these SMGs don't have good handling. Like if you look at this handling is like all the way down for an SMG. But when you throw this on, look at this. It's snappy. It goes where you want it to go. So your handling is through the roof. So you buff that. It's like an instant buff right there. So you have your 2 SMGs outfitted with your Peacekeepers. Now, what I do for the other stuff is I go straight for recovery, because that's, in my opinion, the best PvP perks that you can give yourself as a Titan. Because, especially if you're going to be up close and personal, getting in the mix of everything, you want to be able to dip into cover and come back out just a few seconds later, rather than waiting what feels like a minute with this horrible recovery that they have in Destiny 2. So you want to max out the recovery as much as you possibly can with just the perks that are inside the pieces of armor themselves. So when we're talking about class mods or armor mods, what I typically was going with on this was anything that buffed my abilities, specifically the melee recharge. And at the moment, I don't have a legendary that I like for all the pieces, but I also like to have reduced recoil, just because SMGs, especially the energy SMGs, they can be quite mischievous in their patterns, and they'll go left, right, up, down, horizontal, you name it. They'll go all over the place in certain situations, where hipfire is actually really good with this model in here. I try to do anything that buffs up the subclass with this. The shield that I go with is towering, just because with this build you're constantly moving. It's not built around like total DPS, because you're just mainly worried about breaking their shields. If you can break their shields, then you can break their face. All you have to do, break the shield, and then go for the melee, get your health back, move on to the guy, break his shields, get the melee, get your health back, rinse, repeat, you're Robocop. And the reason I run Antidote D is because it has a lot more range and less drop-off, damage drop-off in PvP than any other SMG. The 600 rounds per minute archetype is much better at handling those almost mid-range, like a close mid-range type of setting. You're not going to get like sniper shots out of this thing whatsoever. It's meant to be up close and personal, in your face. Let's get down and dirty. Let's do this. Then my secondary is the Risk Runner. I tried out Royal Dispensation. I loved the fact that Royal Dispensation had high caliber rounds in it, and it works. I took out a couple supers with it, but for me, it didn't have the stability that I was looking for. This gun, however, the Risk Runner, you'll see in a couple clips here later on, I can jump in the air, like strafing around a corner of a building, and still land headshots with this Risk Runner and win gunfights. Even at low health and they're full health, you'll see I jump around it, strafing around, and I smack them in the face with this Risk Runner and take them out. And then all you have to do is switch back to the other SMG to clean them up if you miss your shots. It's fantastic.
5 minutes. Could go your way. Could go theirs.
So, for your heavy weapon, it really doesn't really matter. You can use any power weapon that you're comfortable with. If you like staying up in that close range, you can go with your crown splitter or any type of sword. You can go with any type of shotgun. I like personally running rockets because when you're pushing around, especially in this meta where everybody likes to group up, there's a time where I got a 4-person kill with one rocket because they were all huddled together with their Midas stuff tucked away in the back corner, and I just come strafing around, bam, rocket, 4-piece.
Yes.
So now, let's get into the actual subclass of this striker. What everybody usually goes to is these pulse grenades, and they go for this where you have aftershocks, make it last longer, and you have magnitude, which gives you an additional one, and it makes it last longer. So you have these that buff this grenade and your Fist of Havoc, making a nice overtime effect. But everyone kind of forgets about this Code of the Juggernaut. You have Frontal Assault, strike an enemy with this melee ability to reload your weapon and increase your weapon stability. So you punch them, it staggers them, you have your SMG ready to go, and you have extra stability now. So, moving on, we have Reversal. Melee kills immediately trigger health regeneration. Big thing right here. There's a lot of fuss going around about the Defender Titan right now with the Overshield and the health regen and stuff like that. Now, granted, you don't get the Overshield and you don't have the Juggernaut shield that you had back in Destiny 1, but you have an SMG that can strip shields super fast. Super fast. Which brings me to Knockout. Critically wounding an enemy or breaking their shields increases your melee range and damage. Big points here. So, not only do we get health back with a melee kill, if we can critically wound them with our SMG before we go for the melee, as soon as we do that, it's going to like double our range and the damage. So if you say kill somebody with your SMG, well then the next person standing there, now all of a sudden you can just 2-shot melee the guy standing right next to him, as long as he didn't see you anyway. And then Trample. Destroying enemies with Fist of Havoc extends its duration. You'll see a clip here later on where it seems like my Fist of Havoc lasts for what feels like 30 seconds, but I know it's not actually 30 seconds. But it enables me to run all the way across the map, take out a super, and then still shoulder charge while in super, a shoulder charge, another opponent, and then be ready to engage the enemy right again.
30 seconds. Double down.
All in all, these perks here in combination make you a tank, a warrior, a bringer of the lightning, bringer of the thunder. And just super excited to bring this build to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay.